Hello, Lobos. We are going to review for your test tomorrow, or your quest tomorrow. We're going to start by doing number 2. We kind of did it in class, but we kind of ran out of time, so we're going to do it together, and we're going to do it a little bit differently. This time we're going to follow the directions. It says, for each of the equations, 1 through 6 below, match the most simplified corresponding slope. You may use a slope more than once. So remember that slope is the rise over the run. And there's several ways that you can find slope in equations. You can use the formula y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. You can also use the formula that we have not talked about that is in this question, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And you can find the slope by looking at the m. And the other equation is in this form, which we cannot identify the slope, but it's easy to graph it and see it. So the way we're going to tackle this problem is to put all of the equations in Desmos. As you can see, I entered all of the equations and I took the lines away so that we can look at them one at a time. The first equation is written in y equals mx plus b, and we can easily tell that the slope is 1 over 4. So there's that line. And as you can see, if I rise 1 and run 4, there's the new dot right there, or should be right there. So that's an easy slope there. The next one has a slope of negative 7 over 4. And let's see what happens here. It's negative, so the line is going down. So these two are not the same because they're not parallel to each other. Let's look at the slope of this one. Here's a point here, and here's a point here. If I rise 1, I would go backwards 2, so my slope is negative 1/2, or negative 1 over 2. I'm going to write that down over here. Negative 1 over 2. And this one we said was 1 over 4. All right. I'm going to get rid of those two lines and look at the next line. There's another slope going down. Let's see how it's going down. It's in the middle. It's not on the crosshair, so I'm not going to choose that point. I'm going to choose this point and this point. So I'm going to rise and run backwards 2. Oh, I got a negative 1 over 2. Let's see if this one and the one before it are parallel. And they are. So those two have the same slope of negative 1/2. So this one's negative 1 over 2. So I'm going to get rid of those two lines by pushing the circle. The next one, let's see what this slope is. Oh, that line is way up there, so I'm going to pull my graph down. See where it crosses on the crosshairs. I see a point here and a point here. So my rise is 1 and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this line is going up, so it's positive. So my slope is 1 over 5. I'm going to write that down. 1 over 5. Now I'm going to look at the ones that are in standard form. I'm going to get rid of that line and push that line there. I'm going to scroll up so you can see it. Let's see, where does it cross? My goodness, let's see here. This is not an easy line to look at. Ew, this slope is kind of nasty. There looks like a point there. And it's close right here, but it's not quite touching the crosshairs. So I can't tell what the slope is there, but I'm going to go to the next line and see if it's parallel. It looks parallel, but look, as I keep moving down the graph, doesn't it look like it's getting closer and closer to each other? So these are not parallel. I got to figure out what it's parallel to. So I'm going to get rid of it. Look at that black line. I'm going to check to see if it's parallel to this one. There we go. It looks like it's parallel. If I travel along the graph, it's not going to touch. So it's parallel to my purple line. My purple line has a slope of 1 over 5. So my black line has a slope of 1 over 5 as well. So I'm going to put 1 over 5. And now I'm going to look at this last line. Get rid of those two. Look at that line. See if I can find some crosshairs. There's a good point there. There's a good point there. I go down. Oh wait, sorry. I'm going to rise first. I'm going to go up. I'm going to rise 1 and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it also has a slope of 1 over 5. So 1 over 5. Okay, so this is a matching activity. So that means we're going to match the A, the B, and the C to these letters, or to these numbers rather. So slope of 1/4, there's 1/4 there, so this one's C. Slope of -1/2, that's B. Slope of -1/2 is B. 1/5, 1/5, 1/5. A, and A. There we go. And that's how you find the slope from a graph using those equations. I want to point out some things about the slope. In this equation, the slope is m here. But right here, it says a positive 0.5, which is the same as a positive 1/2. But if I distribute that 0.5, if I multiply the 0.5 times the negative x, I get negative 0.5x, which is the same as -1/2. So that's how that works. All right. And let's move on to number 3. And number 3, actually I'm going to pause the video because it's already a pretty long video. So I'm going to stop the video and you go to the next video to access number 3. Okay? See you in a little bit.